Orichalcum or Orichalcum is a metal mentioned in several ancient writings, including the story of Atlantis in the Critias of Plato. Within the dialogue, Critias claims that Orichalcum had been considered second only to gold in value and had been found and mined in many parts of Atlantis in ancient times, but that by Critias' own time Orichalcum was known only by name. Orichalcum may have been one type of bronze or brass, or possibly some other metal alloy. In 2015, metal ingots were found in an ancient shipwreck in Jella, which were made of an alloy primarily consisting of copper and zinc, i.e., a form of brass. In numismatics, orichalcum is the golden-colored bronze alloy used by the Roman Empire for their sestertius and dupontius coins. Overview. The name derives from the Greek rho epsilon iota chi alpha lambda kappa omicron sigma, Orichalcos, meaning literally, mountain copper, or copper mountain. The Romans transliterated Orichalcum as Orichalcum, which was thought to literally mean gold copper. It is known from the writings of Cicero that the metal they called Orichalcum, while it resembled gold in color, had a much lower value. Orichalcum has variously been held to be a gold-copper alloy, a copper tin or copper zinc brass, or a metal no longer known. However, in Virgil's Aeneid the breastplate of Turnus is described as stiff with gold and white auricals. In later years, orichalcum was used to describe the sulfide mineral chalk copyright and to describe brass. However, these usages are difficult to reconcile with the claims of Plato's Critias, who states that the metal was only a name by his time. While brass and chalk copyright were very important in the time of Plato, as they still are today, Joseph Needham notes that the 18th-century Bishop Richard Watson, a professor of chemistry, wrote that there was an ancient idea that there were two sorts of brass or orichalcum. Needham also suggests that the Greeks may not have known how orichalcum was made, and that they might even have had an imitation of the original. In 2015, a number of ingots believed to be orichalcum were discovered in a sunken vessel, which has tentatively been dated as being 2,600 years old. Analyzed with X-ray fluorescence by Dario Panetta, of TQ Technologies for Quality. The 39 ingots turned out to be an alloy consisting of 75 to 80% copper, 15 to 20% zinc, and smaller percentages of nickel, lead and iron. Ancient literature. Orichalcum is first mentioned in the 7th century BC by Hesiod, and in the Homeric hymn dedicated to Aphrodite, dated to the 630s. According to the Critias of Plato, the three outer walls of the temple to Poseidon and Cleito on Atlantis were clad respectively with brass, tin, and the third outer wall, which encompassed the whole citadel, flashed with the red light of orichalcum. The interior walls, pillars and floors of the temple were completely covered in orichalcum, and the roof was variegated with gold, silver, and orichalcum. In the center of the temple stood a pillar of orichalcum, on which the laws of Poseidon and records of the first sun princes of Poseidon were inscribed. Orichalcum is also mentioned in the Antiquities of the Jews, Book 8, Sect. 88 by Josephus, who stated that the vessels in the Temple of Solomon were made of orichalcum. Pliny the Elder points out that the metal had lost currency due to the mines being exhausted. Pseudo-Aristotle in De Mirabilibus Auscultationibus describes orichalcum as a shining metal obtained during the smelting of copper with the addition of calmia, a kind of earth formerly found on the shores of the Black Sea. Numismatics. In numismatics, the term orichalcum is used to refer to the golden-colored bronze alloy used for the sestertius and dupontius coins. It is considered more valuable than copper, of which the as coin was made. Some scientists believe that orichalcum may also have been used for jewelry for poorer people, as it had a similar appearance to gold. In popular culture, orichalcum is often mentioned in a number of high fantasy works and video games of fantasy theme, as one of the more valuable ores. along with fictional mithril. Notable examples include Exalted, Dungeons & Dragons, Shadowruns, Earth Dawn, Star Ocean, Golden Sun, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Guild Wars 2, Dragon Quest, Terraria, Bravely Default, Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water and Wizard 101. Orichalcum is a power source in the adventure game Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. It is mentioned several times in various entries in the Final Fantasy video game franchise as well as in Kingdom Hearts 2, where it was used as the primary ore in forging the Ultima weapon. In Kid Icarus Uprising, Lord Dintus tells Pit that his vehicle, the Great Sacred Treasure, is made of orichalcum, though Pit has no clue what that is. Also, orichalcum is a mineable mineral in both Harvest Moon, Back to Nature and Story of Seasons, which can be sold for a high price, or used to create jewelry.